Of course, the advantages of a digital instrument are well documented and well known, you know, about tuning and about moving them around and all sorts of things. But one of the other things that I really like is the ability to choose different pianos to play for different occasions. When we say different pianos here, I'm not just talking about a bunch of sounds to cycle through. I'm talking about completely different models from the ground up. And there are two main models in here. And within that, of course, you can change all the parameters you'd like to. But there's a European grand piano in here and an American grand piano. As we all know, they have quite a different character. And if I'm playing certain types of music, if I can, and I don't always have that choice, although I do here at the touch of a button, I'll choose one of those over the other. Within those two models, the European and the American, there are two basic settings here. So I've got 4 pianos to quickly choose from. As I say, within each of those I can edit to my heart's delight. But just looking at them as they come, the first one is a European Grand number 1. And it's got a very warm sound, particularly in the mid register, and it doesn't get too bright on you. You can as you get more aggressive with the piano, of course it gets louder, it gets a bit brighter, but it has that lovely sort of edge to it that a good European grand has. So. And if I play it harder, it's not going to get any brighter than that. It just gets louder, which is what I would expect from that sort of piano. If we go just to the first of the American models here, you'll hear right away. Back to the European and to the American. Here it speaks, I'd say more clearly, but it's not that the European one isn't clear, it's just a little bit more extroverted. Maybe that's something about European and American. If we go to the number 2 European model, it has a little bit less of that mid-range in it, and so it's still got that European warmth in it, but it is a little clearer, speaks a little bit more outwardly than the first one. And then we go to the second of the American pianos, and this is really what I would use if I'm playing with a quintet up to a big band and playing jazz, or I really want that sound even if I'm playing solo piano, and you'll hear. It really sort of says, I'm here. And sometimes I'm on gigs where I want a piano to do that, and to get an acoustic piano to do that, even if you start with a good American grand piano, you've got to regulate it that way. You've got to tune it that way. You've got to set it up, and if you go to the nth degree, you might need to get out and start shaving hammers and doing all sorts of things. It is one of the things I love about a digital instrument, that I can just play a song on that piano, and then next song I can just change and have a completely different piano to play. As I say, between those 4, the 2 European and the 2 American models, which are from the ground up completely different pianos, you can then edit all the parameters within each piano.